Hello, my name is Mr. 24 Sony. This is my third video. It's my second of the day. Now for a few seconds I'm just going to mention my other video called Mr. 24 Sony on Gaia / my letter. If you've watched that, then you know, but it had just a few little technical problems, like the last minute was just nothing. And then there's like 20 seconds of one scene that was cut off. And the reason for that is I'm still kind of warming up to this software on my computer. I'm not quite figuring it out that well, but I'm still trying to learn some stuff. And each video I'm being able to do something different that I wasn't able to do before. So hopefully this video will come out perfectly. And if it doesn't, then please understand that I'm still having some issues with uploading videos, and it won't last forever. I'm going to be talking about, well, what I'm going to be reading in this video is the first chapter of a book that I'm writing called Assault on Half Sights. I personally think it's very original. Most my friends and anyone else who have read it have either really enjoyed it or could stand it enough to the point where they could act like that they enjoyed it, which for me is good enough. If you're interested, I'm just going to read this, and if you're not interested, then don't watch this video. It's just the first chapter. It's called The Two Kids. Okay. Chelsea Benertz was a very bright girl. She had very shiny gray eyes and blonde hair. She was often quiet, and usually thought differently than others around her, causing her to become very isolated from most people. She didn't like makeup, or cared about how neat her hair looked, unlike most girls. In fact, some don't even think that she's a girl at all. Some think that she's a robot, or an alien, or that she's insane. This, however, isn't the case. Chelsea simply has no interest in popular things. What matters to her most is human emotions. She never quite understood why humans did certain things, such as fighting, murder, or other things that she had picked up in the paper when she wasn't supposed to. She would often ask her father about them. One morning, she asked, "Dad, what are in-suits?" In-suits?" her father asked. "Yes, why do people in-suit each other? It's not polite, and it doesn't help anyone. Why did they do it?" Her father didn't really care about what she would ask. Even though she was 7, he still had trouble understanding her like she was 2. He simply said there was no such thing as an in-suit, or, more commonly known by most English-speaking people, as an insult. He also said the same thing about murder, death, and another subject that he thought she shouldn't be aware of at this age. Instead, he would say, "There's no such thing, Chelsea. Those fictional words are always in there for entertainment. Now, why don't you go watch something on television?" Neither Chelsea's father nor her mother had much of an interest in her. Sure, in other books, a main character who's brave and quiet was always said to have been abused by their parents, but saying that Chelsea's parents abused her would indeed be quite an overreaction. Her parents still fed her and took care of her, but they never had much of an interest in her personality, which for Chelsea particularly wasn't good. Her parents weren't idiots, but their main issue was that they thought that kids didn't know anything, and usually had no idea what they were talking about. On August 25th, 1996, Chelsea's parents decided to go for a drive by themselves, so they left a babysitter for her. Chelsea had a feeling for this babysitter that she didn't quite understand. She had only experienced this feeling once before, and it was with a teacher she had last year. This feeling was caused when she kept telling her these fictional words and fictional feelings that gave Chelsea some type of emotion against her. She had thought that she knew about this emotion from a word that she had heard of before, but when asking her mother about it, she said that it wasn't a word that was real, that it was only for entertainment. Chelsea was waiting for her parents to come home, but noticed that they didn't come when they usually did, usually meaning 3 hours after they said they would. She still kept waiting. Chelsea wasn't worried, or scared, or anything like that. She was just curious. A few hours had passed. Chelsea finally decided to go downstairs and ask her babysitter what was wrong. She saw her babysitter and noticed that she was doing all these fictional movements and saying all these fictional words. Perhaps she had finished reading the paper and was trying to entertain herself. Chelsea didn't want to interrupt her babysitter's entertainment, but eventually came to the conclusion that her curiosity was more significant. Chelsea walked up to her and asked, "Where are my parents?" Her babysitter then started to do all these fictional movements to her. These were not moves that Chelsea had expected. They were in fact non-fictional moves that her parents had not only told her about but encouraged her to do. She was hugging her. She was also crying, an emotion that Chelsea's parents had also told her about. Reluctantly. Her babysitter kept saying, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry." Chelsea was unsure of what to do, so she decided to go back to bed. The next morning, she woke up wondering what was going to happen. She heard people making very loud noises downstairs, like her mother and father had sometimes done during the morning. She figured that they had just come back home really late, so she walked downstairs and saw people. Lots of people. None, however, were her parents. A man told Chelsea to come with him, but she told him that she's not supposed to follow strangers. The man replied, "I'm not a stranger. I'm a police officer. Did your parents ever tell you about us?" Chelsea thought for a moment. "Yes, they did." "Alright, will you come with me now?" Chelsea was unsure. "Can you show me your badge, officer?" The man smiled. "Alright." He had shown it to her. Now convinced, she came with him, and for the next couple of days kept going different places. One day, she found a newspaper in a trash can. She picked it up and looked at it. She was usually only interested in the words, but there were two pictures that she had noticed, and they were of two pictures she instantly recognized and was interested in. Her parents. On the bottom, right between the two pictures, was a picture of a man that she hadn't seen before. Chelsea started to read the article. Morgan and Sidney Bennards were fictional word last night by a man named Hector Holter. He then fictional word himself. The couple had one daughter named. Chelsea had stopped there. She had no interest in hearing about herself. She was very curious about what she had read, even after she was pulled away by the police officer. She wondered what it had meant, but then remembered her parents telling her that those things were only in the paper for entertainment, and since this had entertained her, she believed that that probably was all this really was. Fictional entertainment. The two very well-polished rocks that she was forced to visit was also probably just fictional entertainment. The fact that she never saw her parents again was also most likely fictional entertainment. The most recent place she was taken to was a very big place, the biggest place she had seen. It was, in fact, an adoption home. Chelsea had a large amount of wonder for this place, and no less than 2 days after being there, she had a fictional feeling for everyone, except one person. She had met a red-headed boy named Frenny. Frenny was about a year younger than she was. He was very nice, and although he seemed to be less intelligent than Chelsea, he had no more truth than she did. At that moment, Chelsea had discovered an emotion that she shared with Frenny, an emotion that she was indeed very well aware of. They had developed a friendship, and it was one that would last several years. Eventually, though, Frenny would become half-blinded. Okay, that's it. I know it's crap, but please let me know how you feel about it, and I'm working on Chapter 3, I already have Chapter 2 done. If it gets a half-decent response, then I will read out loud Chapter 2. Another video I'm planning on making probably tomorrow morning is my review of Halo. I now know how to upload videos by myself, so it'll be easier and more frequent. By tomorrow I'll probably have a couple more videos, but yeah, I'm going to be reviewing Halo, because I'm sure a few people are probably wondering why I hate the game. Again, if there's any type of review of anything, even if I haven't seen it, or anything you want me to talk about, let me know, and I'll be happy to. Please rate and comment. I would really appreciate that. I want to know how everyone feels about me and my videos. I'm Mr. 24 Sony. Thank you for watching. Have a nice night.